Well, good morning, everybody. Here's a check out your Wednesday forecast. We'll start you off right away this morning. Winds a bit breezy in the eastern and southern portions of the area, kind of right in here. Not so bad out towards the west, but it is holding temperatures up a little bit despite a cold front that came through. That front's now well to our south, and it's going to be cooler today with that front now well to our south, a cooler air mass, but not cold by any means. We'll see plenty of sunshine. High pressure up here, about right there. So you see the slow clockwise rotation. As you get farther away from it, the winds do get a little stronger in parts of the panhandle, but most places the winds should not be terribly strong. In fact, a lot of us will see lighter winds later. The exception would be out west, though the winds will actually pick up a little bit there. Tonight, southerly winds for the most part with increasing cloud cover, so not too bad temperature-wise out there. Those increasing clouds, despite that, we will actually warm up tomorrow. We've got a warmer air mass building in for your Thursday. So it's going to be partly to mostly cloudy, but warmer across the area. And then Thursday night, a pretty decent night. Watch for some stray sprinkles or very, very light rain. I don't think this amounts to much. The air is going to be very dry at the surface. So sprinkles, light rain won't be a big issue early Friday morning. I did not include it in the forecast for the Tri-Cities. Looks to stay mostly in the northern part of the area here. So it doesn't look to be a big issue. Once we get into the weekend, though, we will have to watch for a chance, especially over northeast Nebraska. Let's take a look at that forecast for today. It will be noticeably cooler today, but these are close to average for this time of the year. Highs in the mid to upper 50s, some places around 60 degrees. Let's take you around the horn. We'll start you here first to the northwest. 54 later today in Atkinson and Spencer, 57 in Tryon, 56 in Stapleton, 56 degrees in Broken Bow. How about 60 in Trenton and Cambridge, 61 for Norton, Kansas, 60 degrees in Ogallala, 58 for North Platte and Gothenburg, 56 for Loop City, 59 in Franklin, 60 degrees later today in Fairbury and Beatrice, 59 Tecumseh, 58 in Tecumseh as well as in Plattsmouth, 57 Seward, 56 in Osceola, 57 degrees St. Paul, Grand Island, Hastings, and Blue Hill. And finally, northeastern areas in the mid to upper 50s later today. 57 degrees in Columbus and Schuyler, 54 degrees in Neely, as well as in O'Neill, 55 in Greeley. So there's a look at today's forecast. Tonight we'll fall back into the 30s and lower 40s for lows, a little warmer in the northwest. Warming up tomorrow despite more clouds around. Highs back up into the 60s, mostly mid and upper 60s. I wouldn't rule out 70 out here to the west. Once again, a west wind here will help to warm things up here, and sometimes we tend to exceed expectations when you hit those west winds. 30s and 40s tomorrow night and Friday morning. Friday's still looking pretty good. Highs mostly back up into the 60s. This time your coolest air in the north with cooler air beginning to dive southward, but in the upper 60s in the south and the southeast. That cooler air continuing to work its way southward Friday night to Saturday morning. Lows Saturday morning down in the 30s and 40s, still not bad. But Saturday, it's going to be cooler. Some may see falling temperatures, but the big story is going to be strong northwest winds. As we're just beginning to cool things down. A cold front diving southward Friday night into Saturday morning. Highs will only be in the 40s up north, 50s, near 60 in the south. That colder air is going to continue pushing southward Sunday. It's going to be a chilly day on Sunday here as we check out that long-range forecast. You see the cool down today, warming up Thursday and Friday, starting to come down on Saturday. Winds gusting out of the northwest, maybe at times over 40 miles per hour. It's going to be a windy day out there. Moisture, we'll talk about that in just a bit. For now, I have not included moisture in the forecast for the Tri-Cities or for North Platte. Sunday, chilly. Look at those night times. If you haven't drained your sprinklers yet, it might not be a bad idea there. Kind of starting to warm up a little bit Monday, but still cool. But look at the jump on Veterans Day Tuesday, back up into the upper 60s, and it's mostly going to stay in the 60s the rest of next week here. Really, this is a blip in the road this weekend. Once we get beyond it, we've got another nice stretch of weather ahead of us in the long term. Looking at the North Platte forecast, not a lot of major differences other than Monday. Monday, it already starts to warm up in North Platte. And then again, another jump in temperatures by Tuesday as we get back up into the 60s, even nearing 70 degrees. It does look like we'll see a pretty warm rest of the week after Sunday, and even Monday's not too bad there, as western Nebraska is going to be noticeably warmer compared to eastern portions of Nebraska. And again, I think during that 12th through the 18th time frame, we settle back into a warm weather pattern. You see it, a lot of warm air over the middle part of the country, well above average temperatures expected during that time, as the jet stream kind of does this right here. Almost like an omega high a little bit. Here, an omega would look more like this, the shape of the omega, the Greek letter omega. So almost in that shape, really. Precipitation-wise, the Climate Prediction Center, I'm very iffy on this right now. They have us in the above average category. I think above average is more likely out here. But a lot of the forecast models I'm looking at, it takes that moisture that's developing out west, and once it kicks out into the plains, it kind of dries out when it hits the Rockies. And so we're not really in shape for much moisture between the 12th and the 18th. So I'm very iffy on this here, on seeing much moisture during that time frame here. Now, my forecast models that I'm going to show you only go all the way through about the 15th or so of the month of November. I've been looking beyond that, even to the 16th, 17th, 18th. I'm still not seeing much in the forecast during that time frame. Here, let's jump ahead. Now, let's go to Friday first. Again, I mentioned those sprinkles Thursday night and Friday morning. I just don't see a whole lot, but northern Nebraska maybe. Saturday now, here comes our cold front, the winds picking up. Friday night to Saturday. Again, notice it's about the Tri-Cities north and eastward. The European keeps it as mainly rain for our area and keeps the snow up to the north. Then towards the end of the day, Saturday and Saturday night, maybe a little mix into northeast Nebraska as the cooler air really starts to push southward here. So we're going to have to really watch northeastern areas for that chance of some mixed precipitation. Beyond that, moisture to our east in the form of some snow showers, wind-driven snow showers there to our east on Sunday. Nothing for us. We really don't, and then we start to warm up Monday and especially beyond Monday. Warming back up and very limited moisture again. That's why I just don't think we'll see much. And this is, again, just taking us to the 15th of the month there. But even beyond that, most of the moisture stays to our west. Let's look at the GFS model. Let's take you to Friday. And that Friday morning sprinkle light rain activity in northern Nebraska. GFS isn't showing much. In fact, I'm going to skip to another one real quick. Let's show you the NAM model before I go back to the GFS. The NAM model doesn't go out as far, but it does go out to Friday morning. That doesn't have much for Friday morning either, which is why I'm very skeptical on getting much moisture Friday morning, even though our in-house model shows something here. Saturday's a little interesting. Again, mostly northeast Nebraska. Again, this is as far out as that model goes right there. See how it only goes out to about right there, Saturday morning. So we'll see how things play out. Let's go back to the GFS model and let's get back to Saturday here. Again, moisture, but the GFS has been more aggressive with the colder air on Saturday, bringing not only rain but snow to northern and northeast Nebraska. I'm a little skeptical on this right now too. GFS seems a little too aggressive with the cold air. Beyond that, not much next week. All the moisture remaining off to our west, all the way through the morning of the 15th of November. So as of right now, I really think we stay in a very dry weather pattern. Saturday's kind of the exception right now, and a mostly mild pattern. Again, today's a little cooler. Tomorrow and Friday warm up though. Here comes the cooler air Saturday. And then the bigger push of cooler air Sunday and Monday. But already on Monday, look at western Nebraska right here. This is why North Platte's going to be warmer than Tri-Cities. Already western Nebraska is starting to warm up, and that ridge of high pressure out west builds eastward Tuesday and beyond. We get a little shot of cooler air Wednesday into Thursday, maybe a little bit, but it's not a big shot. But and you see it right into next weekend, that warm weather sticking around. I've been looking the next 2-3 weeks out. There's not a lot of cold, really the coldest air may come Saturday, Sunday, Monday, that time frame here. Most of our days though do look to still be above average. Taking a look at the GFS model, again, we're a little cooler today, warming up Thursday and Friday. Then here comes the cooler air Saturday with the strong winds. Chilly on Sunday. Monday still chilly, but look at western Nebraska starting to warm up there. Tuesday warms up a lot. Slight cool down Wednesday, but overall, the end of next week on the warm side. We keep that warmer weather around right into next weekend, the 15th and 16th of November. With that, I got to go here, so I want to thank you all for watching on this Wednesday morning. I'll be back with you on Thursday with all the latest. Take care, and God bless. Bye.